Welcome, welcome. I am Kathy of Kathy's Cart. Thank you for stopping in. Now, perhaps you clicked on this because you might be feeling like you've hit rock bottom. For many years, I have debated and thought and wondered if I should tell my story. And I never have, because I always felt like I didn't want to speak bad of anyone else or offend anyone else. I do feel that I have a purpose. God has a plan for me, because I've been through a lot of things in my life. I've survived a lot of things, and I believe that because God allowed me to survive, there's a plan and a purpose for me. And that being said, I'm struggling with the fact that possibly I should be sharing my life experiences to possibly encourage someone else. So I'm here doing this now, not really sure of how to do it or what to say, what not to say. But like I said, possibly you feeling like you've hit rock bottom. So I'm just thinking I might talk about what I did when I got to that point. I can remember the day like it was yesterday. And first of all, let me start off by saying that I am learning to take responsibility for everything that happened in my life. Sometimes when things happen to you, it's easy to say, well, it happened because of that or because of them, but I'm learning to understand, and it is a process that possibly, well, not possibly, because we all have choices. We have choices of what we allow and the decisions we make. And what happens in our lives comes from the choices and decisions that we make. That being said, I was at the lowest point in my life, and I had to tell myself or decide. So am I going to ball up in a corner and just not do anything about this? Or am I going to take what has happened and I going to get up and take control of my life and make something different out of my life? And I can remember that moment, that this or that moment. And I said, you know what? I don't like feeling like this. I've never been a quitter. So I said, you know what? I'm going to take this situation and I'm going to take control of my life. I'm going to get up and I'm going to do something new. And that's what I did. Now, I don't know your situation, and I appreciate you coming here to try to figure it out. There are so many different scenarios and situations that can happen to a person. But like I'm saying, the turning point begins with you. It might be the hardest thing you ever do, but I'm here to tell you that you are important. You are on this earth for a reason. You can start over, because I started over 3 times to be exact in my adult life. My grandson was a part of my life. I'm raising my grandson, and we have conversations. Excuse me. We have conversations about our lives together. And one day I said to him, "You know what? I started over from the bottom, all the way from the bottom. I started over 2 times." He said, Grandma, you started over 3 times. I'm like, yeah. So, like I was saying, there can be a lot of different situations and scenarios. The first thing you need to deal with is ask yourself, are you safe? And if you're safe, okay, we can start from that. But if you're not safe, you got to come up with a plan. Excuse me. If you're not safe, you need to come up with a plan. And while you're coming up with that plan, you have to make sure that in doing that plan that you will stay safe. And there are resources to help you be safe. Okay? That's the first thing. First things first. Okay? Now, second thing, more than likely, is finances. Well, we need to deal with our mental. Okay? And if we are not stable in that way, we need to deal with that. Okay, there's a lot of ways that we can deal with that, but first we have to believe that there is an issue there, and we need to seek help. I'm a firm believer. First of all, I am here and alive today because of God. And that's the only way I made it through. All that I've been through is God. I also am a firm believer of counseling. And if you feel like you need that, I would say seek it out. First, I go to God in prayer for all those things that I need mentally, spiritually, and then God gave us doctors, okay? For our mind, just like He gave us doctors for our body, He gave us doctors for our mind as well. So if you feel like that's what you need, seek it out. Okay? I'm just thinking about myself and how I dealt with things. If you have someone that you can trust, if you have a support system, family or friends that you can trust, that's what you would do and lean on next. Finances. This is why I like to talk about finances and things that we can do to support ourselves and grow our finances, because I can truly say I started over, like I said, several times. Not because I chose to, but because I was put in a situation, or I put myself in a situation because of the choices that I made. Financially, I had to reestablish myself. Okay? If you don't have financial stability, there are resources that you can seek out for that as well. You would be amazed at how many resources there are. And we have to learn to do that. Sometimes pride keeps us from doing a lot of things, but when we need help, we need help. I don't want to make this long, and it's hard to be more of a support without a full story. And I'm not really sure I want to do that yet. But I just wanted to come on here and let you know that there is help for every instance, for everything you're going through. There is help. Financial help, mental help, physical help, housing, all kinds of things. If you want to talk about this more, or you'd like for me to talk about it more, let me know. I'm not really sure of the response of something like this, but if you're interested, if you want me to elaborate more on my story, on how I made it through the most difficult times of my life, let me know. Like, drop me a comment. Let me know about your experience. And I would love to talk about it with you. I'm just not sure how much to elaborate because, like I said, I'm still kind of struggling with telling my story. But if it will be a help to someone else, I'm all for it. I am not for degrading someone else by sharing my story. Okay? Well, I just want to thank you for stopping by. I just wanted to let you know that you are not alone in your struggles. When you're down, the only way you can go is up, okay? And I just want you to know I came from being down several times, and there is hope. That's one of my favorite words. There is hope. There is hope. Like I said, I totally believe in God and as a source. So I encourage you to try that. Try a prayer, simple prayer. God help me. And like I said, if this was helpful, go ahead and hit the like button. Maybe you might want to subscribe. We can talk more about it. All right. Maybe I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.